The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome, everyone, to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. As always, once more into the breach we go, dear friends.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
It did sound a little quiet there. You had to get to that slider, did you? Anyway, we've got kind of a quiet day so far. S&P's up 5 points. Volume is, we're starting to see Tuesdays is kind of like the volume day. We've got 2 billion shares, so volume picking up a little bit. That puts us about 150 million shares ahead of yesterday. So Mondays, Fridays tend to be kind of weak these days. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursday, volume already starts moving down. And of course, light Fridays and then back to a light Monday. So we're starting to see at least some kind of predictable cycle for energy in the market. But we'll talk more about that as the day goes on. So, we're up 5 points, no big deal. This is pretty much where we opened on the day. Nothing else has really changed any great extent. And kind of a tale where the NASDAQ was doing all the work before. It's now pretty much the whole ball of wax is on the Dow. It's up 0.8%. The NASDAQ and the S&P are 25 and 30%, or I want to say 30%, 0.3%, we'll put it that way, 0.8% for the Dow. Crude's rather flat. And, of course, we talked a little bit about gold. I had some emails about it. I haven't taken a lot of look at it, but this is starting to look kind of interesting. Yes, I would like a blowout of this lower level that would issue a shakeout. I think that would be one of the best things. Every time I've made big money on gold, it's always been when everybody else is no longer wants to hear about it at all. And maybe we've had enough consolidation out here, but still would like to see this thing kind of ramp back down to maybe 1250 for the day and then back up. Will I get a present like that? I don't know, but we can always hope. Hope is always eternal. Other than that, let's get to some charts. And, of course, before we get to charts, we've got to get to some history.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1901, a 63-year-old school teacher named Annie Edison Taylor becomes the first person to take the plunge over Niagara Falls in a barrel. I always wondered where this started. After her husband died in the Civil War, which I'm going to call the uncivil war because it wasn't very civil, the New York-born Taylor moved over the U.S. before settling in Bay City, Michigan around 1898. July 2001, while reading an article about the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, she learned of the growing popularity of 2 enormous waterfalls located on the border of upstate New York and Canada. Strapped for cash and seeking fame, Taylor came up with a perfect attention-getting stunt. She would go over the Niagara Falls in a barrel. And that's how this ridiculous thing started. I didn't find anything about how she fared. Maybe I'll find that during the break, and I'll keep you in suspense. But other than that, it's kind of all quiet on the Western Front. Like I said, we're up 5 points or so on the S&P cash. Little push when we look at the Dow, which is responsible for most of the big move today. What do we have in it? Well, it's the usual suspects that are causing issues. If you want to look on the downside, that's General Electric. Down again today. Volume's not as quite as large as it was before, but kind of interesting. So we'll look at that, but it's just not much juice in that. J&J is another one that is been dropping a little bit of a Baby Ruth in the punch bowl. It's rolled over. Volume's not all that exciting. 136 would be a move back to, well, let's call it 137, would be back to support on Johnson & Johnson. And just see if there's anything else that I'm looking at here that would be interesting. I think there are a couple more out here in the Dow that are kind of putting a dark cloud over the rest of what is a fairly decent move. But other than that, got the NASDAQ. Of course, it's up 0.3%. I'm just not feeling the love for all that stuff. A lot of people keep emailing me about the IYT. Not exactly sure. Maybe we've started a small cult out here. Still think, as I expressed yesterday, that what you're looking for is some kind of close under the 3x3 displaced average, which isn't much. All you need is a close by the end of the week under like 179, and you're going to get it. So maybe it goes sideways for a few more days, but my guess is that by tomorrow afternoon, we're going to start seeing this thing have some issues of its own. And of course, today you got a little doji out here, not much else happening. Quick look on what I think of Facebook. And again, this one kind of looks more than the weakest of the big fangs for me, other than Apple. And what do you have out here? This thing broke below the 3x3 displaced average yesterday, did so with enough energy to make me think that there's a little more to this. 13.8 million shares to the downside yesterday. So it didn't like really blow out huge volume, but looked fairly interesting. IBM. She survived. Good. I'll have to find out more about that. IBM was one of the other ones, and I just forgot it when I looked at what was going on. Of course, you had a huge short squeeze in IBM, and that's some of these stocks where everybody's been short going into these things. This thing has been continually shorted back up here at the top again. So, is it probably going back down to 145 over the next couple of months? I suspect so. There isn't a lot that really changed other than the fact that they're not going out of business tomorrow. There were far too many shorts in that one going into earnings. Let's see what else is going on out here. Of the indexes that continue to roll slowly lower, the IBB is part of that. Had some good news in this sector. Actually got to 321.88, spiked down. Recovered most of that today, but still one of the weaker ones out here. We'll have to wait for the volume at the end of the day. But 740,000 shares already in the IBB. So we'll look at that. Anyway, be back in a second.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls. Now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Well, they mentioned the Bay City Rollers, the musical group in the den, and I'm doing everything I can to soldier on. Of course, when they catch the Taliban, that's the kind of music they play over and over to them to get them to break. But we'll do that. Anyway, someone mentioned the SMHs out here. Absolutely no sign other than no volume up here. I looked at this thing short, and the volume literally went down to nothing into the, what was this out here, the 95.61 high of the 9th. When this thing was going sideways, I didn't mind being short. I think I got out when it went above like 94.5 or something. There was, the light volume, you had it. It just didn't stop. It kept going up. You had one huge day out here that was very narrow, and I think that was Friday's options expiration. But in a bubble, I don't know if you get a whole lot of ideas, but if you want to be dusting off the parabolic SAR, I think that this is probably a pretty good time to start taking a look at it. Okay. So what else did we have? I'm not a fan of Bay City Rollers. Not at all. Okay. What do we have? Well, somebody else was saying something else. RMBS, which is Rambus. This is a company that basically works on royalties, and they really don't make anything. This one is getting awful long in the tooth for those royalties and patents on the patents. So I assume that fairly soon these things are going to expire. Same thing with BlackBerry. You just eventually one day those patents expire, and if you dig into this, you'll probably find that there's a huge short interest, and everybody's just waiting around for those patents to expire. And when those do, I guess Rambus is probably pretty much gone. They may still be adding to the patent portfolio. But these patent stocks, pretty tough to figure out because there's so many, same reason for BlackBerry. There's so many reasons, and it seems like they can lie with impunity about the patents. I've never seen anybody go to jail over lying on what's in those things. And, you know, it's not like lying about your books. It's kind of lying about what's going in, and maybe it ends up with a bunch of those nuisance lawsuits where you get a $10 check in 5 years. But I just kind of stay away from them because it's very tough to figure out actually what's going on, and there's an economy with the truth when you're in those. Let's take a quick look, of course, NVDA. These things just keep kind of edging up a little bit each day. NVIDIA hasn't given any kind of signal. You've got, you know, 2 gaps out here. Could you get a third from this move out here? I think so. This one's probably going to get a last gasp up here. But competition is fairly big. Discounting has started. This is probably going to be one of those stocks that breaks. And when it breaks, it's probably going to, I think this thing could be a 50% lower, you know, in 6 months or 9 months. Whenever this thing starts heading south, figure that it's probably going to head south for about 6 months. And, you know, this is kind of one of these Goldilocks things. Not much way in the competition, a virtual monopoly and machine learning, handful of things, but all these things will eventually move on. NVIDIA is getting fairly long in the tooth for all that porridge being absolutely perfect. So what else do we have? Looks at the IBB. Tesla's up $2. Let's take a quick look at this one. I still want to see it run a lot of shorts out. This one, you basically are coming back on a retest of 10 million shares from the October 3rd spike down. So what do you have yesterday? 5.7 million shares, 3.2 so far today on a little doji. That doji is either a place where it's going to head back up to the 363 area, which is what I hope on light volume and even lighter volume, and that may be the part to at least get into that candle with lighter volume to pull the trigger and get the next ABC on the way down for this one. Or this thing's going to open up and gap down below, and that would be problematic because I'm not short it. But not prudent to be short, wouldn't be prudent. Way too high a short interest. We need this thing to pop to get those shorts off the back of the stock so you can actually dive in and get a fairly decent risk reward. But I'm thinking that 360, 355 area, somewhere around there is what you want to be, or this thing gaps right back down through the 330 area. And that doji today, if this holds with this light volume, either that move starts up tomorrow, or that's the halfway move and an ABC on the way down. If that was the ABC on the way down, that takes you to 304.67. My thought is this thing's really going to about 280. So I just want this thing to get up there a little bit more and give me another chance at bat. I'll take a few other ones. Question about the TLT. You can always email me at path@tfnn.com. This is John again, who's been an active emailer. Let's get rid of that for a second. I don't think anything's changed out here. We've seen this bounce around. It didn't quite get to the 122 that I thought it would on that October 6th low. We've bounced. We've come down with higher energy. My guess is that this 122 is still the area that the TLT wants to test, and I don't see anything else that changes that story. You got fairly light volume. You're back into this 10 million share low, but again, today you've got, what would you have? Is that it? You had 12 million shares back on the 20th as you got into that candle. So you've already kind of exceeded the volume you wanted to see at this low. Today's kind of a light volume thing. I'm just looking at that 122. I think that's where it's going, and we'll see what it does for volume down there. Another question. ENDP. ENDP. Let's take a quick look there. ENDP. Indo International. I know what an Indo is. That's doing a wheelie on the front wheel. I just don't know what Indo International does. Develops, manufactures, distributes pharmaceutical products and devices worldwide. Generic pharmaceuticals, provides tablets, capsules, powders, injectable liquids, nasal sprays, transdermal patches, neurology thingies, precocious puberty treatment. Who knows what that? We'll be back.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Stop. I'm calling the principal. Well, we know we won't be hit with terrorism today because that song will chase everybody away. Okay. So after the bell tonight, we were talking about pharmaceuticals. Didn't know much about this company, checked it out. And of course, they have a drug for something called precocious puberty. Why don't they just say early puberty? What the precocious thing? It sounds almost dirty. Anyway, and why? And then you have to look it up. If they just said early puberty, I would have known what they were talking about. So anyway, what do we have out here? Why don't they just let them grow up? See, I mean, the chart doesn't look that bad. Your energy's off just slightly off this September 12th high, back down to the October 24th low. So I would have liked to seen the energy off that September 12th high back down to this low. That being said, you're probably going to get some kind of bump with a little reversal in the IBB today. You're probably talking about a couple of day bump. I still suspect that you're probably going to get another opportunity after this bump, though, to buy this thing around the low sevens. You got a signal out here that you're probably going to get a bounce for a day or two. I just think that you're probably going to get a bounce and then maybe even the volume come off in the next leg down a little bit more. And then that's going to be the time to buy it for a trip up to $9.63. Yes, isn't that weird? It's strange. And okay. Andy Heck talking about the Chinese Party Congress. Okay. Just checking my email. Of course, he'll be on. This is Tuesday. So is he on it? I think he's on at 3:20 today. Of course, he's always on at 5, so you can check him out then. Him and Tom, they'll discuss commodities today. While I'm doing a little dance step and getting ready to look at a few of these stocks that report after the bell. AMD, the weak sister of NVIDIA. This thing's kind of gone sideways. Lackluster in the way of earnings last time. A lot of people were short on it. This thing gapped down on May 3rd. Now we're getting into, I think maybe the opportunity to see another gap down in this one. I don't know how short everyone is. Let's take a quick look at that. And AMD. This is after the bell, by the way, tonight. So we'll take a quick look. Well, they're not shorting this much, so maybe there is some room to the downside on it. This, I wouldn't be placing a bet either way. This is, of course, in the middle of its range from 1565 down to 1186. Probably not a huge move. I wouldn't be surprised to see a gap down. These guys had probably one of the best moves off of a low, but the company's really not that much better off than it was when it was a $2 stock. It's just losing a whole lot less money. They got a few things going on, and video cards became hot again. But, man, this is the weak sister to NVIDIA. So my guess is this will be the one that cracks the hardest before anything happens. What else do we have? Chipotle, CMG. I was going to try to find some great sound effects, but I couldn't find them during the break on what's going on with these. Do I have any? Thought maybe, yeah. Well, it's not a food fight. No, don't have anything. So what do we have in Chipotle? I talked about this thing going sideways, not looking all that bad from a consolidation point. I don't know if anything is going to happen on earnings that's going to change it now. I'd like this thing just to go sideways for another week or two. And if it did, and you didn't see a lot of volume coming in, this thing may finally be making some kind of bottom and why it may not get back up to the $600 or $700 range of its heady days before everybody getting E. coli by eating there. It's been a while since someone got E. coli, and at the same time, this is the kind of stock where you can see the founders kicked out and somebody else take over, and a lot of times you can get a huge bump on that. And my guess is this thing's heavily short. Let me take a quick look. Yeah, last couple of days has been 22, 19% short on this one. So for a $300 stock, that's pretty good, because most people won't short stocks that are over $100. They do the proper thing and buy the puts on them. But there's not a single one way or the other. It's gone really, for the most part, sideways. And, you could probably bounce either way. But, man, if this thing would nothing or go down like $4 or $5, see light volume for the next 4 or 5 days, and maybe give me some kind of pattern or buying thing out here, this one may be ready to go out and do a squeeze in earnings, after earnings, excuse me. Akamai, this one has had a couple of earnings gaps down over the last year. You can see them fairly easy every time this thing is blown up on earnings. 3 earnings dates and 3 announcements, and these things have just literally blown off the doors. This has gotten back up to about the $52 range. Another one of these, which I think is a massively shorted stock, so probably wouldn't be, actually not. This one is interesting. It's up here, and there's nobody shorting this thing, or let me put it that way, few people shorting this. From last week, it's all been under 10% every day for short action. This one is not that bad. The things that have been changing in this one haven't been, I don't think there's anything new out here. This would be very interesting. This thing, of course, needs to go back and retest about $44. So that probably wouldn't be bad. $52 area right now. So what do you got? First support area is $49. But my guess is if it failed, it'd be headed back down to the $44.65 level. Of course, these guys offer a lot of services to other people that want to run cloud services, and that is tough. Okay. Okay, let's check the. Okay, we're up on 6.5 points on the S&P cash. Let's take a quick look. 2.2 billion shares. The volume's slightly better. Nothing that makes it stand up and salute a flag in Peoria. But we'll take a look at it. Yeah, a few more here before we get off the. We got one more segment here, long segment. We'll get through all the earnings next couple of weeks.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. 9190. Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're back. Illumina, of course, after the bell tonight, too. This has been one of these DNA sequencing companies that seems like it could do no wrong. The problem is they have very expensive machines, and sometimes they sell a lot, sometimes they don't sell many. I think this thing's priced for perfection. Watch for this thing for a big drop after hours tonight, if maybe that's what happened this time. It could be perfect. Maybe they got all the orders out the door, but my guess is that this is going to be one of the times that these guys roll snake eyes. They sell a very few very expensive machines to sequence DNA, and it's not uncommon for them to have feast and famine from quarter to quarter. They've had a couple of good quarters back to back. It's just, when you're selling, $500 million worth of stuff at a time, it becomes problematic, let me put it that way. And two, they've sold a lot of these machines, so maybe the heyday is over, but keep an eye on it. Capital One also after the bell tonight. Now this one's right up against previous highs, actually a little over it. Without the kind of juice that you'd like to see. Now, maybe we get that juice on earnings tonight, but you're looking at just under 10 million shares for the July 21st high. As we go through the last 3 days, 3.7 million shares, 2 million shares, and today 1.5 million shares. So, again, kind of light. Just keep an eye on this one. I don't think this would come off very hard. Maybe a couple of bucks if it disappoints. It would really have to do something spectacular, I think, to go higher, though. Kind of priced for perfection, but the downside not as bad as some others if it whiffs. Let's see if there's anything else out here. Okay, that's it for tonight. Let's take a look at tomorrow morning. The other side of the coin with some of these credit card companies like Visa tomorrow morning. This thing's just going sideways for the last few days, so there's not a lot that you can read into this one. Take a quick look at Boeing. I don't know if there's anything these guys could say that would change the long-term view of this. This is one company that I still don't understand the idea of getting short, mostly because even if they lose 3 years, they still got 4 years in the hopper of planes to deliver. And people are always adding planes, and as soon as the price goes up, they're deleting orders and adding orders. It's the thing where you've got, no matter what, 4 years, even if we went into the worst depression of the year of all time, they're still going to deliver 4 years of planes. Those things have been financed and guaranteed a seat on the opposite side. They don't start building these planes and ordering all the parts not knowing the thing can be delivered, or the possibility of these things going out of business. The other side, if it goes out of business, they've got insurance for that already. So I don't understand it. I know this thing's done nothing but run. I would have wished I probably should have looked at it a little better. Could it come off? It could, but man, they're going to have to say something ugly out here about something else that I'm not quite sure about. See if there's anything else here in the morning that really makes me think that we could see DPS, which is Dr. Pepper. This thing ran all the shorts yesterday, gapped up, gave it all back, and now it's back into this gap up from yesterday. Volume's a little light. That will be tomorrow morning. Wyndham Worldwide, international paper. Of course, international paper, always an interesting one to watch, because if business is good at international paper, generally a good sign that people are buying their products to wrap the paper products to wrap their products. Therefore, it's good. Now, the downside is this thing came off of the July 13th high down to the August 11th low, and did so with considerable volume. It came off that August 11th low to back up here and test that to July 13th high. You got about 1 million shares into that 3 million share high today. Again, day before the news, I'm not going to put a lot in here, but I'm going to say that this is probably the one I'm going to be watching in the morning that I think is going to give a lot of people an idea about what's going on in the near future. Another reading on housing sales. A.O. Smith, the maker of water heaters and fixtures, has been doing fairly well. The one thing is, the volume's just like nothing every day. So I don't know what's going on that one. Silicon Labs, so maybe we'll have a little bit in the SMHs. What is that? Slab, excuse me. So we'll look at that. Okay, so this thing's done nothing but go sideways since the 12th. So I don't know if you can read anything out into that. Okay, that takes tomorrow morning in effect. Just look at after the hours tomorrow. Las Vegas Sands. Of course, we're going to probably get a lot more commentary. I don't know. We're pretty close to the shooting out there in Las Vegas. What does that do? I kind of saw the sell-off on that. We've gotten the retrace. Did people go anyway? I think I've heard that there's more than anecdotally. Some people have canceled their trips out there. So did it hit it by 5%? I mean, is that already in it? Kind of tough to tell. This thing does kind of look like if it did head down, it's set up with an ABC on the way down. We also have Amgen tomorrow, Xilinx after the bell, Vertex Pharmaceuticals, BWLD. Of course, this one has been working lower for a while, Buffalo Wild Wings after the bell tomorrow night. I've talked about them basically having prices for chicken wings that exceed what you can get a nice filet at a similar restaurant right next door here where I live. a very nice steak and a baked potato and salad and everything for less money than maybe 12 wings, some sour cream, and a couple of pieces of celery. So I'm just wondering, at those prices, whether or not you're going to keep people going in the door. But now what do you have? Well, a lot less people watching in the NFL. We know that from the Nielsen ratings and calls on it. That's got to hurt them. I don't know if that's already in this one or not. But on the upside, 118. On the downside, $95. This thing could continue to move, and I don't see the news getting any better. But we'll be back. We'll talk about this and more in the last segment.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Come join me next hour as we bisect and dissect these markets. Right here on TFNN. Wow!
Also, tomorrow night, there's a lot of these stocks that have been beat up that seem to be coming up here in the next day for earnings. Of course, O'Reilly and the rest of the auto parts stores have not had really good earnings, and also the threat that Amazon's going to clean their clock, or at least not give them a tune-up. See what I did there? This, of course, blew up on July the 5th. It's been trying to work its way back up. It's been kind of coming back down here, slight volume. I don't see anything that's changed in this business either. Doesn't look like they've got any kind of way of fending off Amazon at all. And of course, with huge margins, I think I brought this up last time. Maybe Tom and I talked about it. Maybe he was on the air and I brought it up. These guys have huge margins, 50% margins. Any kind of company that's got big fat margins sitting out there is an excellent target for Amazon. I don't know if this is pushed any farther. Newer cars also mean, and better cars also mean lower earnings for O'Reilly. But I don't know if there's anything else you can put in this other than from the chart going into it. But these things were not going to react well. And again, no test of the July 10th low in this one. So wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of these have some problems. Xilinx after the bell tomorrow night in Las Vegas Sands. That probably wraps up what we're looking at. A lot of people are going to just hold their breath and wait. But I don't like that you had some fairly decent earnings in the IBB, and the things kind of, did go lower this morning. But it's not really, it may signal a small-time low, but really doesn't seem to be doing anything that shows a lot of strength, more a little bit of weakness. Seeing a lot of that in these different stocks that is supposedly really good earnings, but the stock not really acting that well based on that. Anyway, we're up a little bit, 5 points in the S&P cash. Sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.